Hey, what's up everybody? Here we are again and welcome back to another video. And today we are gonna be talking about a very important thing, at least for you that you are seeking for international opportunities, international jobs, and how to apply, how to prepare yourself. What are the most common things that happens in the job interview, right? And then I will also show you the things that I did myself when I start seeking for the opportunities outside of Brazil. If you want to work remotely or if you want to move to another country, that will might help you, right? So first things first, the most important thing for myself, I think, is to translate your CV, right? And then you need to be familiar at least with the terms that are in your CV. So that's the thing. You need to be familiar with your descriptions, with the jobs that you worked before. For example, if you are in the IT field like me, you need to be familiar with the terms, with the technical terms that's commonly used in the daily basis, right? So you need to be familiar with those terms. And then the internet can help you. The internet can help you to search for those terms. If you don't know those terms, you need to go to the internet in order to learn more about those jargons or special vocabulary that you might hear or you need to use. So the first thing, I will take here some sample CV. So here I was doing my search, and then you can see, for example, you can go to the internet and search for the top interview questions in your area, in your line of business, in your industry. But the first thing that I want to show you is how to translate your CV, right? So for example, if you go here in a website like this, I searched random CV, and then I came up with this one here, just to show you. Imagine that this CV is your CV, right? So you could go here and copy your CV. And then nowadays there's a lot of tools out there, right? For example, you can go to the Google Translator. That will be the first tool that we are gonna use. So let me copy here, and then let me go to the Google Translator, right? So the first thing that you can do, copy and paste, and then you're gonna see your CV here with your description, with your presentation of your CV. So this is very important. You need to be familiar with your description, with your CV. And then, of course, your background, academic background, your previous jobs. Again, if you are in IT field, you need to be familiar with your technical terms, right? And then what you're gonna do next is, it's very important. You need to learn deeply your CV, right? You need to learn by heart. After you translate your CV, other thing that you can do is seek for professional help to review if the translation are good or not. And then you need to read a lot. You need to read a lot your CV. You need to learn the things that are inside of your CV. And then you need to do this thousands of times, over and over again. Repeat this millions of times, right? So this is the first step. And this is very easy, right? If you have your CV, you can get the content of your CV, put on the Google Translator, and then you can get the translation from your CV. That's very easy, very simple. There is no trick, there is no difficult to do this, right? And then other thing that you can do, for example, you have here this website, for example, in IT field. If you are seeking for for example, .NET technology interview, right? You can go to a website like this and see the most common questions that you might face in the interview. For example, explain about the major components in .NET framework. What is an XZ or a DLL? What is CTS? Something like this. Very common questions that you need to be familiar, right? So, and beside of these technical questions, business industry terms and vocabulary, other thing that you need to be very familiar is with the personal questions, right? Things that are not related to the technical side, but more behavioral questions. Like, for example, what do you like to do in your spare time? How do you see yourself in the next 5 years? How you see yourself in the next 5 years? Or something like that. You know what I mean? This is very common, and then you see those kind of personal questions in the job interview. Other thing, of course, normally when you are apply for a job interview, even in Portuguese, in a Portuguese company, in a Brazilian company, you need to learn something about the company, right? So no need to say that, right? You need to go to the website of the company, try to get more information as you can, and try to learn those informations about the company, right? It will help you a lot. And then, again, you need to learn the information, and then the information, of course, will be in English, it will be in the language that you want to apply for the job opportunity. You need to do this ahead of time, right? And another thing that you can do in the Google Translator, for example, we did this copy and paste your CV, right? But I will do a different thing right now. For example, I will create a Word file. Let me create a blank one. Let me put the word right here. And then, so, just an example, right? I will save this file. Let me save this file. Oh, sorry, file. Save as. Browse. Let me put this file right here. Okay, and then you have your CV, the normal CV like you have in your computer in a document file like this. So let me close. And then another thing that you can do here in the Google Translator is to upload your CV, right? That's very important tool that you can do here. For example, you can select the file. What is this file? It is in documents, right? Documents, resume, I guess. Okay, there we go. And then you can select the source language, that is Brazilian Portuguese, and then the target language. And then when you click translate, it will generate the new file for you. And then you can download this file magically. You see, we have a lot of tools that might help you to be more comfortable with the English. So I did this in my very first job when I applied for Citibank by the time. So let me download here and let me put here. So this time, instead of, let me put another name here to show that it is English. All right, and then you have your document, your CV translated. See, magically, of course, there is no formatting. You need to formatting again your CV, but you have the information that you need, right? So, doing this, I think this is just the very beginning. You need to practice a lot. Practice a lot. You need to do this million of times, believe me. And another thing that you can do, try to find a friend or a teacher that might help you to simulate the interviews, right? So once you are comfortable with this, you can go to the LinkedIn, browse to the internet, and try to search the opportunity that you want to apply, right? So I think that's it. That's the very beginning. That's my tip that I used when I tried to apply for the very first time. Well, when I worked in an international environment, even though the company was in Brazil, but the environment was totally in English. That was the thing that I did by the time, and the things that I do when I, for example, nowadays I worked in a company that is Spanish, right? I work for a Spanish company, and then I did the same process. I took my CV, translated it to Spanish, and then start learning the things, the normal vocabulary related to my CV and related to the business and related to the industry. You see what I mean? You need to do this. If you want to apply to Japanese company, more difficult, maybe in another life I will try to do this. But I think you got the idea, right? You got the idea. So that's my tip. And then don't be worried. Try to prepare ahead of time and be comfortable with the language, with the normal things. And I guarantee you, you are gonna succeed. All right? These are my tips and tricks for today. I hope I have helped you. And if you like this content, that kind of content, please give me a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. That's very important. And I plan to do this kind of content every Friday. Every Friday, I will try to bring some subject in English, right? So please give me your support. It will be very important for me and for you guys that are watching me, so that we can improve our English conversation. We can be more natural when we are speaking in a different language, right? So please give me a thumbs up and share with your friends, with your dog, with your mother, your girlfriend, your girl lover. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much. Stay tuned until the next video. Peace.